What's happening, everybody? MG here, MGCovers, bringing you a brand new handicapping video. Today we're going to look at my lines for the NBA, compare those to the sportsbook lines, and see what kind of difference we get. And also we're going to look at the same thing in NCAA basketball, compare a few games in NCAA basketball to the sportsbook lines. Now, the way I teach this is we want to have at least a 5-point differential, which means we want to have a difference of at least 5 points between our line and the sportsbook line in order for that to be a play. Now, there's a lot more that goes into handicapping than just what I'm going to show you here, but this should give you some insights and to show you how accurate my power rankings are. Now, I call them power rankings, but it's actually my line for the game. So we'll start here, get right into it. Washington and Detroit. We had the line at Washington +7, Detroit at -7. So we had Detroit at a pretty big favorite. If you look here at the sportsbook line, the line had them at -2.5. So we have a 5.5 point differential. Actually, about a 4.5 point differential in favor of Detroit here. So we would have played Detroit, and that would have been a loss in that one. Okay. We look at the Cleveland-Toronto game. Our line was 11.5. The sportsbook line was +12.5. So you can see how accurate our lines are, even on games that we don't play or don't have point differential. And like I've said before many times, when you're looking at a good stat model, majority of the time, your model should be close to what the sportsbook has, the line. There's only going to be a couple occasions where you're going to see a difference, and that's what we want to take advantage of. Let's look at the next game, Miami, Memphis. Same deal here. We had the line at -2. Look how accurate this is. Miami was -3. And, of course, that would have been a no play because we want to see that difference. Whereas we look at this game here, the big game of the night was Dallas and Milwaukee. Our line was Dallas +1.5, Milwaukee -1.5. Dallas was a huge dog here at +10.5. So we had right at a 9-point differential in favor of Dallas. And what I mean by differential is, so we're saying this game is going to be real close, that Dallas should win by 1.5. Dallas should only lose by 1.5, where the sports book said they should lose by 10.5. So we had a 9-point differential. That would favor Dallas in that situation. And of course, Dallas not only covered, but they also won. Let's look at this next game, Chicago, Oklahoma City. We had Chicago at -2.5. Oklahoma City, we had them as the dog +2.5. You look at the sports book, they had Chicago as the underdog at +5, and Oklahoma City at -5. So if they had Chicago as the underdog at +5, we have Chicago as the favorite. So the difference between that would be a 7.5 point differential, and the reason it's 7 is you would go +4, you go back down towards the negative. So you go +4, +3, +2, +1, 0, -1, -2.5. So the difference, that total point differential there is 7.5 points. So that would favor Chicago. So that would have been a winner. They actually lost the game, but they covered. And then the next game, San Antonio, Houston. San Antonio, we had it +1. Houston, we had it -1. The sportsbook line had San Antonio at +10. And just a real quick tip, majority of games in NBA are decided under 10 points. So when you see a 10-point spread, that's something you would always want to look at, even if you're not a client of mine. Just handicapping in general, it's hard for teams to cover that. You can see here both these games here, they did not cover these spreads. Toronto did cover against Cleveland, but more times than not, it's going to be a difficult cover. But anyway, back to our video here. San Antonio +1. San Antonio was +10, so we had a 9-point differential in favor of San Antonio. So this was the actual game that we played today, and it won. We only played San Antonio. Felt that was the best game on the card. And of course, even though San Antonio did not win, they covered there. So you can see in those three games, Chicago won, Dallas won, San Antonio won, and the only game we would have lost was Washington. So we went 3-1 there. And so if you're looking to, it's like I've always said, let's say you don't have, let me go ahead and minimize this. So when you just look at a line here, and if you know nothing about handicapping, how do you know Miami is -3 is a good line? How do you know Toronto -12 is a good line? Well, you don't. And the stat model, I'll go ahead and give you a little bit of insight in how I calculate my stat model. Believe it or not, it's based on defense. When you look at NBA, most teams are good at scoring. What determines whether or not a team is a good team is a team that plays a good team plays good defense. You look at Cleveland, they have no defense. They're not a good team. Look at Atlanta. Atlanta can score a lot of points, but they're not a good defensive team. Milwaukee, one of the keys of their success this year is they play really, really, really good defense. They hold teams under 100 points most of the time. Same deal with the Lakers. With the addition of Anthony Davis, they're a really good defensive team. That's why they win a lot of games and why they cover. And so the model is built around that. So now real quickly, I want to slide over here to NCAA basketball power rankings and look at just a few games here. Now you'll get some really, really, really huge spreads in NCAA basketball. And I'm going to give you a couple examples here. Let's scroll down here. Look at this. Look at this Evansville Jacksonville game. We had Evansville as the underdog. We had Jacksonville as a huge favorite, -16. Look at this line. Let's see if I can find this game here. Yeah, look at this. Sportsbook had Jacksonville as the underdog at +4. Evansville as the favorite. So that was a 20-point differential. And we had this game as Jacksonville blowing them out. And look what happened. Jacksonville blew them out convincingly with almost winning by 25 points, which our line obviously was closer than Sportsbook line. So that would have been a winner. And if you slide up here and look at this Tulane-Alcorn State game, we had Tulane at +3. We had Alcorn State as the favorite, and they were actually winning this game in the first half. I watched part of this game, or actually followed it on Gamecast, and played Tulane within 3 points in the first half. So the actual line was Alcorn State +17. We had Alcorn State at -3. So that was a 20-point differential. So that would have been a play on Alcorn State, and of course they covered. And then we'll go ahead and just show you, it's not like perfect. It doesn't hit 100% of the time. You see here we had Kennesaw State +2, Murray State -2, and Murray State was -19.5 and covered convincingly. So again, there's a lot more that goes into this. I'm just giving you just an overview of it, just so you can check some lines and see how accurate it really is. If you're looking to kind of a do-it-yourself handicapper where you don't really want to pay for picks, but you want to have a really good stat model, that's what we offer. When you join, you get access to our power rankings, and basically our power rankings are where we have our stat model, and you can see the lines. You'll be able to see lines for all of the NFL games, NBA games, NHL games, NCAA basketball games, all of the soccer power rankings. We have lines for those. And to join, it's very simple. You just go to our website, MGCovers.com, click join, click subscribe to coaching, and see if this pulls up. Yep, and it's $29.95 a month. And once you get access, you will get access immediately to all of these lines for all of these games. In addition to that, you get all of our coaching videos. We have a vault of coaching videos, how to handicap. All of the sports, we show you how to handicap using the stat model, which is what I call objective handicapping. And we also have a video on situational angles, which is what I call the subjective side of handicapping. So again, you can get that all for $29.95 a month. If you want to subscribe to our picks, you get it's $49.95 a month, and that's just plays, and we send you those out. You can get those on the website, or you can get those via Telegram. So anyway, hopefully that video kind of gave you a little bit of insight into the accuracy of our NBA lines and NCAA basketball lines. As always, if you like this video, give it a like. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, I'm going to put out a lot more content here lately. Some instructional videos as well to help you with your handicapping. So that's going to do it. If you want to follow me on the Instagram, it's MGCovers, just like you see here, except covers is spelled with a Z. I put out a lot of content on Instagram. Hope everybody has a profitable week, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.